Kowabanga, mother people, how are you? Well, welcome to another review video. I'm a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, as you know if you have been following my channel for quite some time, if you couldn't tell by the figures here and the figures there and the figures where you can't really see them. But the fact remains that I have not yet read the entire IDW run of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that started at about, when was it, 2011, something like that. Well, I know that about 10 or 11 deluxe editions just came out, each of them containing 2 trade paperbacks. I read about 6 of them a long time ago, and now more recently I have been rereading them. This being said, something just came out that I wanted to read so much, and I was very much afraid that in order for me to be able to read this issue and not to get spoiled too much, and not to, to understand this issue, I would have to read the entire run of the TMNT from IDW. Luckily, I asked some people, and they told me that I didn't have to. And I was obviously excited, and I read The Last Ronin, which this video is about, and I'm absolutely stunned. I'm absolutely excited. I just had to make a short video about that. So what The Last Ronin is, it's I would say that it's either, because it's just me talking right after I finished reading this, not knowing anything as far as its background goes. So I don't really know. I haven't read the latest 5 or 6 oversized hardcovers of the TMNT. I don't know if this is from an alternate reality, if this is the part of the canon in the continuity, or if it's just a story from, well, it is set in the future, definitely. So if you've been following the TMNT by IDW, well, it's basically retelling of the TMNT stories in a bit of modernized, but an absolutely awesome way. It's definitely one of the greatest interpretations of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles I've ever read in my life. But the basic things are the same, obviously. You've got the 4 turtles, the brothers, you've got Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello, you've got Master Splinter, you've got April O'Neil, Casey Jones, Oroku Saki, the Shredder, and characters like that. You've got Krang, and all the characters that we, the fans, love from both the original Mirage Studios comic books, from the 1990s movie, and from the cartoon. But what this is, it's a story set in the future of the original main continuity of the TMNT, when we can clearly see that this is not so much distant future, but still quite distant, because they've got flying cars. So what it looks like, it's I would say that it's obviously New York City, taken from the point of view of a futuristic something, and it really kind of resembles Blade Runner a bit. They've got flying cars, they've got neon signs, and it's clear that the city is, or has gone through some trials and tribulations. It's not in a very good position or condition. Moreover, the city has been taken over Oroku Hiroto, who is a grandson of Oroku Saki, the Shredder. And we meet a Ninja Turtle called The Last Ronin. Now, at the beginning of the book, we do not know who that turtle is, because the turtle is wearing a black bandana instead of a colored one, or just a red one. Now, before I get any further, I would like to say that there are going to be some spoilers, so if you haven't read The Last Ronin and do not want to get spoiled, leave this video, buy the book, read the book, come back. And that turtle is trying to get into a fortress, basically, in the middle of the city, to do something. But the fortress, the building, is being highly guarded, secured. by androids and robots, by Mausers, by armed robotic soldiers, and arms and weapons of all sorts. But the Ninja Turtle, being a Ninja Turtle, is able to get past most of the defenses. But it just happens that in the end he doesn't manage to get to the quarters of Oroku Hiroto, the overlord of the city at the time. And Oroku Hiroto, he basically says to all his armed corps to eliminate the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and he's very angry because he thinks that he's killed them all. So from the dialogue and the narrative, we understand that all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but this one, are dead. Master Splinter is dead. All the Turtles' friends are dead. Possibly even Shredder is dead. And as I said, Oroku Hiroto, his grandson, has taken over the city and basically became a dictator. Now, what this last Ronin, this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, wants to do is basically just avenge his family, his brothers, his father, the entire city, and kill Oroku Hiroto. But he doesn't manage in this particular issue, in the first issue, for one reason or another. You don't have to know that right now. You can find out for yourself. And now the biggest spoiler of them all, I'm not going to tell who that turtle is. You will have to find out for yourself. The important thing is that I love this comic book because because it's so depressing. I don't know if it's normal. It is normal. It grasps your heart. It's very emotional. You feel sorry. You can identify with the turtle and his trying to avenge his family. And it's so depressing and so sad in that you always think about the TMNT, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, as four brothers and Master Splinter, as an inseparable family. And you suddenly see this beaten up Ninja Turtle being the Ronin, which basically is a samurai without a master, without a lord, in a hoodie, in a cape, in basically, which is some sort of padded armor, wearing all the weapons that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are usually bearing. He's got a sai, he's got a katana, he's got a bow staff, and he's got nunchaku, besides all the different shuriken and things like that. And throughout the entire story, the entire issue, which is about 40 pages long, so it's oversized, he is followed by his brothers who are talking to him. But from the beginning it is clear and obvious that they are not really there, that they are only inside his head, because in most of the panels they are not really seen. You can't see them, you only hear them speaking. And in the few panels you really can see them, they are just at the background, hidden in the shadows. So they are following him as a sort of a memory, a sad memory of his brothers. And that's all we know. That's everything we know about this single issue, or everything I know. So I wouldn't say that you necessarily need to have read the TMNT by IDW in order to enjoy this issue. The only thing you need to know is have a basic knowledge about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So fans of TMNT will definitely enjoy this comic book much more than people who are not fans. But in a way, it really reminds me of The Dark Knight Returns, in that it is set in a futuristic version of that city, and that turtle is obviously much older. It's not a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle anymore, it's just a mutant turtle, or ninja mutant turtle without that teenage. He's grizzled, he's buffed, he's beaten up, He's depressed. He's at the end of all hope. But he hasn't lost any of his skills or determination or the power of will. Moreover, he is powered by the desire for revenge, and by his anger and by his hatred for Oroku Hiroto. And that is fantastic. I honestly, I have to say this is one of the best comic book issues that I've read this year. And I'm including the Three Jokers and the Dark Knight's Death Metal, which I've been enjoying so far. I would even dare to say that this is the best comic book issue of 2020 that came out in 2020. It's got very brutal scenes. He's wounded at one point, and he's just like coughing, almost vomiting blood. This Ninja Turtle is fantastic. By the way, once again, you're not seeing any physical single issue. I come from the Czech Republic. I do not have any comic book store near me. I can't get my comic books in a physical form when they come out, so I have to buy them digitally. And moreover, we are in a lockdown again, so I wouldn't be able to buy it anyway. I just have to, be flipping through the comic book again, and once I finish this review, I'm going to reread it again, because it just amazed me so much. So I will end this very confused review because I can't look away from the comic book, which I need to reread again. By the way, it was written by Kevin Eastman, Peter Ladd, and Tom Waltz. Kevin Eastman and Peter Ladd, the original creators of the TMNT, and Tom Waltz, the man behind the IDW reboot, and it was drawn by, let me find the title page. Layouts were done by Kevin Eastman, and then pencils and inks, which is basically the finishes by Esau and Isaac Escorta. I probably butchered the names, I'm sorry. So let me know in the comments down below what you think about my friends. If you read The Last Ronin, what you think about it, if you liked it or not, if it reminded you of The Dark Knight Returns, as it was in my case, or not, or if you know anything more about the background to this particular issue. Just please do try to avoid spoilers in the comment section down below for, well, both myself and the other viewers and readers, because I'm too amazed to continue right now. I have to go and read this comic book again. Well, that will be all from me. See you soon, and Kawabanga.